Have you ever been accused of something wrong? Have you ever been accused of doing something you did not do? How did you feel? Let's see how Emeka came out of the accusation of 5.2 million naira cash stolen from the bank vault. Emeka was the definition of struggle and grace, born and raised in Enugu. He was the only child of a widowed school teacher, Mama Nkechi, who sold akara in the evening to pay his school fees. Akara is a Nigerian snack made with beans. Emeka grew up knowing the value of hard work, whether it was helping his mother grind beans at 5 a.m. or trekking to school to save transport money, or hawking after school. Their modest home, filled with the scent of his mother's cooking and the quiet hum of her sewing machine, was a sanctuary from the harsh realities outside. Life wasn't easy. Every naira was a struggle, a testament to his mother's tireless work. But all of this fueled Emeka's ambition to be great and successful in life. He was a bright student, always with his nose in a book, knowing that education was his ticket out of poverty, a path to a better life for them both. His evenings were often spent poring over textbooks under the dim glow of a candlelight when NEPA throws their neighborhood into darkness. NEPA is a national power supply distributor in Nigeria. It is now known as PHCN, Power Holding Company of Nigeria. Emeka hurdled through primary, secondary, and university education. Finally, it was time for him to go for the National Youth Service Corps, known as NYSC. It is a compulsory one-year service for all graduates in Nigeria. After earning his degree with honors from the Lagos State University, Emeka got into the postgraduate world. The endless job applications, the frustrating silence waiting for NYSC posting, the constant worry about how to contribute to the family. This is a familiar struggle for many young Nigerians. I know you can relate to what I'm talking about. In camp, the day began at the unholy hour of 5 a.m. when the camp bugled a trumpet loud enough to resurrect the dead, blared into the stillness. And so they ran, half asleep, half terrified, legs moving faster than the brains could process. The breakfast was a culinary adventure. The special beans swimming in enough water to rival the Atlantic. Who needed meat when Mother Nature generously provided stones? And the legendary colored water. They called it tea, paired with bread so tough it could double as a weapon. Yet, they devoured it with joy, because in the face of Kano's morning cold, that tea wasn't just a drink, it was a savior, snatching them from the hands of cold. At camp in Kano, Emeka met Tony, the Lagos big boy, who acted like he owned the parade ground. Tony was all swagger, designer shades, fake American accents, and a habit of borrowing Emeka's soap without returning it. But under the bravado, they bonded over terrible camp food and their shared hatred of morning drills. Tony called Emeka Smolly, while Emeka called Tony Oga Scammer, jokingly, or so he thought. They clicked, bonding over aspirations and late-night Indomie sessions, commiserating about the camp's strict rules and dreaming of their future. During their service year, they became real friends, like finding a brother where you least expected it. But real life begins after the NYSC. It is a state of confusion for many. Should I remain in the city I was posted in or redeploy somewhere else? Should I start my life here in a strange state after camp or go back home? Should I learn a trade or go for my master's? Friends, family, colleagues keep asking one golden question. What next? What do you want to do now? After the service year, Emeka finally got his break at Dignity Bank. Tony, on the other hand, kept hopping from one shady business to another. After 5 months, Tony visited Benin. Emeka was so excited to see him once again. He hosted him at his place for days. They played, chatted about the good old days and the better days ahead. Joining Dignity Microfinance Bank was Emeka's first step onto the corporate ladder. A promising future finally within reach. He was a quintessential hard-working entry-level staff, meticulously poring over ledgers, often staying late to finish his task, dreaming of promotions, and diligently sending money home to his mother, who in turn would call him with endless prayers and stories of their neighbors' happening. Emeka had always been this quiet, diligent one at Dignity Microfinance Bank. The guy who came in early, left late, and never complained. He was admired by all. His colleagues called him Mr. Clean Hands because he handled the cash with the precision of a surgeon. Everything continued smoothly until one day. The problem began like any ordinary Monday. Emeka arrived early as usual, shirt ironed to perfection, his shoes shining like hope, and his ID card hanging neatly around his neck. But all that changed the morning the vault was opened and 5.2 million naira cash was gone. But that morning, whispers swept through the bank like wildfire. The vault was 5.2 million naira short. When the branch manager, Mr. Bello, stormed in, his face twisted in fury. He yelled, "Who was the last in the vault on Friday?" Silence fell. Nobody said anything. Then slowly, all eyes turned towards Emeka. He had been the one to lock up the vault on Friday. The record shows his ID was used to access the vault late Friday night, long after the closing hours. A storm rolled through Emeka's guts, each wave of shock a drum beat in his core. He was shocked to the bones. He could not talk. He had not been to the vault since he closed from work on Friday. In fact, he was home all through the weekend until Monday morning when he came to work. But by afternoon, Emeka was called into the conference room. The HR was there, the compliance was there, and the disciplinary committee was also present. His name was on the access log. His ID card had been used to enter the restricted area after working hours 2 nights ago on Friday. But I went home after work that night, Emeka said, his heart pounding, his hands sweaty and shaky. But no one believed him. His protest sounded weak next to the code. Hard data. He was told to step aside pending investigation. The colleagues he once greeted with small chops and smiles now looked at him like a stranger. His supervisor stopped responding to his greetings, and even the security men avoided his eyes. The days crawled. Every night, Mama Emeka called, her voice shaky with worry. "My son, God will vindicate you. The Lord will bring you out of this trouble. The Lord will help you. You will come out of this." She kept on praying and praying and praying for her son, Emeka. My people, who do you think stole the money? Could it be Emeka? Could it be any other bank staff? Or even Mr. Bello, the bank manager? Take a sip of coffee and let us continue. Fast forward to Thursday morning. Emeka sat alone at his desk, rechecking logs he had no business rechecking. He checked through the logbooks, the records, and everything he could lay his hands on. That was when the cleaner, Mama Iye, paused and said casually, "Oga sir, one big man dey always come here for night oo. I dey see am sometimes when I forget mop. He go enter that place wey dey lock. He go enter, dey small, come outside." That one sentence hit Emeka like lightning. He immediately rushed to the IT guy with the speed of light, Chike. Chike, who barely tolerated Emeka before, but agreed to help him out of curiosity and out of guilt. Together, they dived into archived CCTV footage, and there it was, Tony, wearing a cap and face mask, but unmistakably in his gait, entering the vault using Emeka's cloned ID card. The timestamp matched the night of the theft. They immediately paused the CCTV. They froze the frame, zoom in and zoom in to be sure that it was Tony. Emeka's hands and legs shook faster than his brain could think. And then he remembered, just days before, Tony, his old NYSC brother, had visited him at home. They laughed about camp memories, and Tony even brought suya to celebrate Emeka's new job. But while Emeka stepped out to take a call, Tony had swiped his ID badge. The evidence was immediately taken to the branch manager and escalated to the headquarters. Investigators came in. Emeka didn't go to the police immediately. Instead, he set a trap. He called Tony from a new number, pretending to be a mutual friend. "Bro, how far? The money don't enter. Let us meet at the usual spots," he said. Tony, greedy and unsuspecting, he showed up, only to find Emeka waiting with the bank's security team and police officers. He was caught red-handed, his eyes wide as the moon. He looked like a thief at high noon, mouth open wide like calabash wey fall from tree. He froze like palm wine tapper wey see juju for tree. Tony was apprehended, and the missing 5.2 million naira was eventually recovered. Emeka was reinstated at Dignity Microfinance Bank, but was given 1 month suspension. After the suspension, Emeka resumed. As he walked back into the bank, Emeka didn't smile. He just sat at his desk, logged in, and got back to work, with a heart forever changed. The bank issued a formal internal memo clearing Emeka of his wrongdoings. HR awkwardly called him in to welcome him back and he was quietly reinstated with all benefits. Emeka returned to work, but the air had changed. The warmth, the respect was not the same anymore. Some apologized to him, while others avoided him, embarrassed by how quickly they had judged him. Emeka, however, was no longer the soft-spoken, eager to please rookie. He now became more guided, more watchful, and much wiser. He stopped trying to fit in. Instead, he focused on learning the system and navigating office politics with silent precision. The bank, on the other hand, quietly reviewed its access control system and initiated stricter badge protocols, stricter ID protocols, and exit and entry access. Management began rotating duties and limiting late-night access. Some staff whispered that Emeka was lucky. Others knew he was just resilient. The lesson from this story is that 1. Never ignore your instincts. Emeka sensed he knew something was off, but he kept quiet out of loyalty. Emeka knew that his friend Tony was doing a shady business, but he kept quiet because he wanted to remain a friend. He trusted him. Another lesson is that never trust blindly, especially in professional environments where there are stakeholders. You do not trust blindly, just like the popular saying, trust but verify. The people closest to you can betray you the deepest. Tony was not just a thief, but he was like a brother to Emeka. This is a reminder that not every bro is your brother. Another lesson learned is that evidence overcomes emotion. If you are in a corporate world, keep information, keep evidences. It was not tears or play that saved Emeka. It was the proof, the importance of documentation and technology. It was the CCTV footage. Sometimes it can be overlooked, but it was that footage that became Emeka's saving grace. Keep your belongings safe. Always have a backup proof. Keep mails, messages, information. Keep them and guide them jealously and diligently, like you are presenting it in court. You never know when you might need them. And lastly, don't burn bridges. Chike, although he was a casual colleague to Emeka, but became Emeka's lifeline at the end of the day. This tells us that we should not look down on anyone. Everyone is important. Treat people well. Your colleagues, your neighbors, people you see on a regular basis that you think they are not important. They are important to you and you don't know when they will be your savior. So treat everyone equally and fairly. Pain can lead to growth. Although Emeka went through pain, but he came out stronger, wiser, and emotionally tougher and intelligent. Thank you for listening, my viewers. I hope you have learned one or two from this story. Until I come your way next time, keep listening, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you and bye for now.